Chapter 51, Embarrassed Luo Yuheng, Yi Qingrou in Danger. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Uncle Tang, Qin Wuxia and the others rushed over, faces beaming, as Tang Chen emerged unscathed. They had faith in him, sure, but seeing him safe was a huge relief. Sister Yi, the girls from Yaoqi Cave Heaven gathered around. Too, these young women hadn't seen much of the harsh world. Seeing Yi Rushue's close call brought tears to their eyes. Hey, no crying. Don't be such babies. Yi Rushue tried to sound stern, but her own throat was tight. Before Tang Chen showed up, she honestly thought she was done for. This godlike man had snatched her back from death's door. A faint blush crept onto Yi Rushue's cheeks at the thought. She even felt a little flushed. Senior sister, why are your clothes all wet? One of the younger girls asked. Puzzled, Yi Rushue coughed and said vaguely, the pit was full of this gray and red mist. It was a real fight for our lives just to get out. Oh, I see, the little junior sister nodded, but something still felt off. The top part of Yi Rushue's clothes was mostly dry, but the bottom was pretty damp. Nearby, Luo Yuheng approached Tang Chen with a small smile. I heard rumors about some deal between you and Yi Rushue. Didn't believe it at first, but now I'm starting to. Qin Wuxia and the others were in trouble, and Yi Rushue jumped in to help when she was in danger, too. Seems like a fair deal to me, believe it or not. Tang Chen replied casually. That's all. Luo Yuheng looked surprised. She thought Tang Chen and Yi Rushue. Her face turned red, and a wave of intense embarrassment washed over her. What a strange one. Tang Chen didn't dwell on Luo Yuheng. He turned to Qin Wuxia. Where's Qingrou? I haven't seen her. He'd noticed Yi Qingrou was missing from the start, but Yang Qing's showboating and the sudden burst of gray mist had kept him from asking. He just put it off. While we were exploring, we ran into Jiuxiao. Qingrou immediately recognized that he was carrying an ancient Kunlun jade. After thinking it over, Qingrou decided to follow him secretly. Qin Wuxia explained. Tang Chen frowned. He knew Jiuxiao had the ancient Kunlun jade, but things had been so hectic since they entered the secret realm, he'd honestly forgotten about Jiuxiao for a minute. Jiuxiao's got that jade, so he's probably headed deeper into the secret realm. We'd better catch up quickly, just in case something happens. Jiuxiao was the third prince of the Wutu ancient kingdom. They were sworn enemies of Shenzhen Dong Tian. If Jiuxiao found Yi Qingrou, the consequences could be dire. Besides, the atmosphere was getting more oppressive the deeper they went. Tang Chen worried that Yi Qingrou might run into trouble. Everyone nodded, and they took off as fast as they could. This was the deepest part of the Kunlun secrets. The sky was gray. Like it was shrouded in gray mist. Everything here was still, like a graveyard. Buzz. A bloody light flared. A handsome man in armor walked confidently ahead. He clutched a plain jade stone in his hand. The jade trembled slightly, almost as if it were showing him the way to somewhere deeper. It was Jiuxiao, of course. Before we even came into the Kunlun secret treasures, I stirred up trouble between the various factions to keep them busy fighting each other. And I've been working Yang Qing, trying to get him riled up against Tang Chen. With Yang Qing's temper, he'll definitely go after Tang Chen like a dog after a bone. That clears the path for me to get into the depths of Kunlun secrets. Once I get my hands on a bunch of treasures and the Kunlun ancient mirror, then the battle to the death between them will be coming. After that, I'll have a good time finishing them off one by one. Jiuxiao grinned, clearly pleased with his plan. Everything was going according to his design. Soon, a grand palace came into view. It was uniquely decorated with walls inlaid with gemstones. A plaque hung out front. It read, Kunlun Dao Palace. This must be the Kunlun Jinren's Dao Palace. Jiuxiao's lips curled in a smile, but if you looked closely, the entire palace was shrouded in mist. The entrance was blocked by it. Jiuxiao knew the gray mist was dangerous, but he wasn't worried. He turned his head, his eyes fixed on a dark corner. Come on out. Jiuxiao suddenly shouted. In a flash, his right hand shot out, radiating a bloody light, and dragon scales emerged, unleashing a wave of violent power. Boom. The world trembled. A figure holding a sword flew backward from the shadows and crashed to the ground. It was Yi Qingrou. caught off guard by Ao Jiuxiao's sudden appearance, she barely had time to draw her sword, but their cultivation levels were too far apart. After a brief clash, Qingrou was thrown back, blood trickling from her lips. Run! Qingrou spun around and ran, but Ao Jiuxiao seemed to have anticipated this. His hands shifted, turning into unicorn claws. With a quick grab, he froze the air, trapping Qingrou instantly. I knew you were following me from the start. You really thought you could escape under my nose? Ao Jiuxiao smiled. He looked down at Qingrou with a sneer. If you're going to kill me, then kill me. Why so much talk? Qingrou's expression was hard. She knew the risks when she decided to follow Ao Jiuxiao. Kill you? That would be a waste. Ao Jiuxiao said each word slowly, deliberately. I realized something about the gray mist. It loves to devour living flesh and blood. It goes wild for it. That's why I pretended not to notice you. You're just a stepping stone for me to get into the Taoist palace. He reached out and struck Qingrou. She crashed to the ground, coughing up blood, the air filled with a strong metallic scent. The gray mist around the Taoist palace surged toward Qingrou like a starving beast. That palm strike messed up your meridians pretty bad. Your spiritual power is probably not flowing so well right now. In that case, I suggest you start running. Once that gray mist gets a hold of you, you won't even last a breath. Ao Jiuxiao chuckled and walked away. Chapter 52 Check-in 7-star reward, Tushe Ancient Emperor Yen. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 52, Check-in and a stellar reward, Tuasha Ancient Emperor Flame. Deep within the Kunlun secrets, a graceful figure zipped past, creating sonic booms in her wake. A thick fog billowed behind her, the two locked in a desperate chase, always separated by a fixed distance, but as time wore on, the woman's pace faltered. She stumbled and began to fall from the sky. The gray mist, however, was relentless. In an instant it surged forward like a tidal wave, engulfing her completely. Is this it? Qingrou thought grimly, watching the mist closing in. She felt a mix of fear and helplessness. Even holy artifacts struggled against this stuff. No matter how much she wanted to resist, she was powerless against its slow, inevitable consumption. I was so naive to think I could tail Ao Xiao and maybe snatch the Kunlun ancient jade, saving Uncle Chen some trouble. Now, looking back, she realized it was a fool's errand. Tang Chen's godlike image flashed in her mind. She regretted her recklessness, lamenting her inability to truly help him. This mist corrodes everything. If Master knew I died here, he'd be heartbroken. She gave a self-deprecating laugh, her crystal eyes slowly closed, bracing herself for death. Buzz, star. A familiar sword hum resonated through the air. Qingrou's eyes snapped open. A peerless figure descended from the heavens, clad in white, a long black sword in hand. Like a banished immortal, he slashed at the encroaching fog, cleaving it in two with a single stroke. Not a single wisp touched him. Uncle Chen. She gasped, momentarily unable to believe her eyes. One moment, she was staring death in the face, and the next, Tang Chen appeared, cutting through the mist with a flick of his sword. The turnaround was too sudden, too unbelievable. Tang Chen landed gently in front of her. I'm sorry, he said softly, I'm late. Hearing his words, Qingrou nearly burst into tears. She wished, more than anything, that time could freeze, even for a moment. Roar, star. A thunderous roar echoed through the chamber as Tunten, now in its true form, planted itself firmly between Tang Chen and Qingrou. Its massive maw opened wide, and it began to devour the gray mist. What? Qingrou was stunned. The mist that had driven everyone back was being gulped down like water. At that moment, Qin Wuxia and the others arrived, visibly relieved to see Qingrou unharmed. Where's Ao Xiao? Tang Chen asked, scrutinizing Qingrou to make sure she wasn't injured. Qingrou recounted everything that had happened, including Ao Xiao's machinations. So that's why Yang Qing's been acting like a rabid dog. Ao Xiao's behind it all. That snake knows how to play the game. Qin Wuxia muttered, his eyes filled with killing intent. The others shared his anger. Ao Zhao's scheme to spark conflict among the younger generation was downright insidious. His callous disregard for others could easily draw them into a deadly game. Let's go pay this little Oriole Ao Zhao a visit, Tang Chen said, striding toward the Taoist palace carved into the mountain wall, a cold smile playing on his lips. Meanwhile, deep inside the Taoist palace, Ao Zhao, clad in heavy armor, ventured into a desolate wasteland. Before him, several dark stone pillars hung suspended in the air. Each was covered in arcane runes that burned into his eyes. In the center of each pillar, a stone platform held a simple bronze mirror. Found it. The Kunlun ancient mirror. Ao Zhao cried out gleefully. He rushed forward and grasped the mirror tightly. But the mirror remained inert. No spiritual energy emanated from it. What's going on? Ao Zhao frowned. He examined the mirror closely and found a thin groove at the top, shaped like a rune. This must be the core, but how do I fill it? And what's the Kunlun ancient jade for? He racked his brain for answers, but a sudden sound broke through the air behind him, accompanied by a playful voice. The Kunlun ancient mirror, said to be an immortal artifact that lets you see the present and the past, to understand the secrets of heaven. I really need to thank the three emperors for leading the way this time. Hearing those words, Ao Zhao froze. He turned to see Tang Chen and the others. Tang Chen stood at the forefront, his eyes as cold and dark as the abyss, not trying to hide the killing intent on his face. Ao Zhao had not only plotted against Tang Chen but had also tried to kill Qingrou. That crossed the line. Tang Chen had a simple solution for situations like these: elimination. Tang Chen, aren't you counting your chickens before they hatch? Ao Zhao scoffed, clutching the Kunlun ancient mirror to his chest. He showed no fear, only excitement. His life had been a series of perilous trials. The more dangerous things were, the more invigorated he became. He clearly saw Tang Chen as prey, relishing the thrill of the hunt. Ignorance is bliss, Tang Chen said, shaking his head. Just as he was about to draw his sword, a familiar sound echoed in his mind. The host has arrived at the Kunlun secret treasure. Would you like to check in? Tang Chen's eyes narrowed. After all this time, the system had finally triggered. Confirm check-in, he commanded. Immediately, he launched into a lucky draw. Ding, star dot. Congratulations to the host for winning the star prize, Tushe Ancient Emperor Flame. Chapter 53 Buddha's Wrathful Lotus. Jiuxiao was crushed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 53, Buddha's Wrath Lotus. Ao Zhao gets wrecked. Score. A real deal strange fire. Tang Chen was stoked. He'd been half kidding when he pulled the great wild prisoner's sky finger, wondering if the system could actually deliver a legendary flame. Now, the system had answered with a resounding yes, and it had given Tang Chen the Tushe Ancient Emperor Flame. Tushe Ancient Emperor Flame, the ultimate flame from a classic fantasy novel, ranked number 1, packing the punch of 22 other strange fires, and comes with the exclusive skill, Buddha's Wrath Lotus. 7-star prize, baby. Talk about bells and whistles. They even threw in the Buddha's Wrath Lotus for good measure. Tang Chen took a few deep breaths to compose himself. He thought, extract. Instantly, a searing heat erupted from Tang Chen's core, like a furnace had been lit inside him. It was a flame, a kaleidoscope of colors, as if every fire in existence had been fused together. Even a flicker radiated a domineering aura that could scorch the heavens and obliterate the earth. Because the system delivered, no need to refine it. I've got full mastery of the Tushe Ancient Emperor Flame. And with the fire merging with my core, I can blitz my way into the Return to One realm without even stopping. Tang Chen grinned, pleased. He'd been on the verge of the Return to One realm anyway. The appearance of the Tushe Ancient Emperor Flame handed him a golden ticket. Crack, starred at a muffled sound echoed. The Wanfa realm's shackles shattered like glass. The air buzzed with power. A beam of light shot out, as if connecting heaven and earth, sending tremors through the entire Kunlun Dao Palace, even rippling through the Kunlun secret treasure. That's a breakthrough aura. Who's leveling up? Insane energy surge. Are we talking Grandmaster level? Nah, this vibe is way beyond Grandmaster. This has gotta be a true person realm. The Taoist geniuses within the Kunlun secret treasure were stunned, they were completely floored. If the Taoist geniuses were shocked, then the people in the Kunlun Dao Palace were absolutely losing their minds. Junior Master broke through. He's in the return to one realm. Check it out. There's a flame burning from his core. The heat's insane. Just looking at it makes me feel like I'm being turned to ash. And he's still going. The power keeps climbing. Is he about to bust through another barrier? That everyone was gobsmacked. Before their disbelieving eyes, Tang Chen's power skyrocketed, blasting through level after level. Return to 1, Stage 2. Return to 1, Stage 3. Return to 1, Stage 4. Return to 1, Stage 5. He shredded through the whole tier in a single breath. Even more frightening, Tang Chen wasn't slowing down, he was already targeting the next barrier. Asterisk crack, star, another muffled sound. Tang Chen's level locked in at return to 1, Stage 6. Comparing ourselves to him is just depressing. Suddenly, I feel like I have no idea how to cultivate. Jian Wuxuan wore a wry grin. For most practitioners, the return to one realm was a major hurdle. It was common to spend a decade or more just to safely break through, but Tang Chen had breezed into the return to one realm, and then ripped through 5 sublevels right after. His talent was off the charts. Even these Taoist geniuses felt their resolve falter for a second. Is he even human? In this era, Tang Chen is the main character. No one can touch him. Luo Xiaoheng and Yi Rushua's hearts hammered in their chests, their eyes were wide with awe. Shut your traps. You think hitting stage 6 of Gi makes you hot stuff? I can still take you out like a piece of cake. The surrounding exclamation sent Ao Xiao into a rage. He was stuck on his old ideas. No matter how talented you are, no matter how fast you level up, if you haven't faced death, you're still just a rookie. And how much strength can a rookie actually bring to bear? Perfect timing. I was just thinking about testing out the Buddha's Wrath Lotus. Seeing Ao Xiao charging in for the kill, Tang Chen grinned. He quickly channeled the Tuasha Ancient Emperor Flame, held his hands out in front of him, and rapidly formed a beautifully shaped flame lotus. In an instant, the fire lotus hung in the air, scorching the world. The temperature in the room spiked, warping the space around it. What kind of technique is that? Everyone was shocked again. At that moment, Tang Chen, holding the fire lotus, looked like an ancient fire god, ready to purify the earth with holy fire. Qin Wuxia and Yi Qingrou felt that the Taoism contained within the lotus had risen to the level of an immortal magic. Go! Tang Chen flicked his fingers, and the fire lotus shot forward. Instantly, the spiritual energy surrounding Ao Xiao began to burn away. Panicked, Ao Xiao summoned the ancient Qilin Phantom, using it to power the blood spirit holy armor on his body in a desperate attempt to block the terrifying fire lotus. Boom. Ao Xiao was hurled backwards. He smashed through 3 stone pillars, slamming deep into the mountain wall, blood gushing from his mouth. No way! Ao Xiao was in agony, his eyes wide with confusion and disbelief. He was at the return to one level, just a hair's breadth from the Grandmaster realm. He had 2 holy weapons and 2 saint-level techniques, and yet, he was spitting up blood left and right. My old man once said there was a huge gulf even between geniuses. Was he talking about me and Tang Chen? Ao Xiao started to doubt himself. His body trembled uncontrollably. Up ahead, Tang Chen slowly lowered his hands, a hint of satisfaction in his voice, definitely worthy of the name. The destructive power is insane. Only downside is the crazy spiritual energy drain. No wonder Xiao held back till the end. Fighting landlords, the Buddha's angry lotus is a royal flush. Who leads with a royal flush? Usually it ends perfectly. My warm-up's over. Now it's your turn. Tang Chen steadied his breathing and turned his gaze towards Ao Xiao, who was embedded in the wall. Hearing those words, Ao Xiao, who had finally managed to stop the bleeding, promptly coughed up another mouthful. That attack had just been a warm-up. Ao Xiao had just used the Qilin Holy Scripture and the Blood Spirit Holy Armor. And he's saying it's a warm-up. You smart-mouthed little punk, I'm gonna make you die screaming. Xiao gnashed his teeth and pulled a silver-white animal tooth from his pocket. Instantly, a gigantic Qilin phantom materialized. As it descended, it became increasingly solid. When it touched the ground, it kicked up a cloud of dust and smoke. Chapter 54 Emperor Yen burns Kirin, new check-in location refreshed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What terrifying power! And this Qilin doesn't seem like a phantom, it's the real deal. No way. The mythical Qilin's been extinct for ages. How could one just show up? But, how do you explain that raw power, that the crowd was stunned? Xiao actually summoned a real Qilin. Tang Chen, if this move finishes you, at least you'll die knowing who did it. With that, Xiao leaped onto the Qilin's head, a flash of crimson light erupted. Xiao slowly sank, merging into the Qilin's body. Die! The moment he finished speaking, Xiao launched an attack. The Qilin raised its massive claws. Each swipe carried an almost divine aura, making everyone present feel insignificant. Careful, little master! Several Taoists yelled. Get out of the way! Luo Yuheng and Yi Rushue shouted almost in unison, but Tang Chen. He remained unfazed, his face calm. In fact, a hint of amusement flickered in his eyes. So that's what that thing's for. Tang Chen murmured, surprised. When Tang Chen had used his fiery eyes to scan Xiao, he'd noticed an item, Qilin tooth bone, fang of a mythical Qilin. At the time, Tang Chen hadn't thought much of it, figuring it was just a trinket. Turns out, activating it summoned a Qilin. Of course, this Qilin was nowhere near as strong as the real deal. Still, the power it radiated felt a cut above, almost touching the divine level. Xiao and Hongchen are princes from the ancient Wutu kingdom. One has Qilin blood, the other has Qilin teeth. Could there be another Qilin hanging around Wutu? Tang Chen mused, getting excited. Here's why. After Tun ate that weird blood Qilin, he became super picky for a whole month. For a glutton who eats anything, that was unheard of. Turns out, Tun thought everything tasted boring after having the blood Qilin. Ever since then, Tang Chen had been curious about its flavor. But what could he do? There was only one blood Qilin in the entire East Wilderness. Even if he wanted to try it, there was nowhere to get it. If there's a Qilin in the ancient Wutu kingdom, that would be sweet. I could roast some Qilin with the Tushe ancient emperor flame. The thought made Tang Chen's eyes gleam. Colorful flames flared from his pores, turning into a sea of fire, which surged out and blocked the Qilin's claw. You think you can stop that? Xiao sneered. The Qilin glowed, funneling the light into its claw, making it even more divine. It was as if a real, mythical Qilin had reached out and swiped. Stop it! Tang Chen shook his head, suddenly feeling sorry for Xiao. When did he ever just try to block an attack? Boom! The sea of flames erupted. A giant finger, formed of pure spiritual power, slammed down, crushing the Qilin. In an instant, the Qilin's head was smashed to bits. Its massive body instantly turned to ash. Xiao was sent flying backward, spitting blood. He crashed to the ground, bones cracked, even his meridian splintered. His grip loosened, and the Qilin tooth bone fell. Tang Chen caught it effortlessly. You dirty dog! Don't touch that sacred object! Xiao roared, furious, but he couldn't do anything. Just then, a familiar chime rang in Tang Chen's mind. Ding! New check-in location unlocked. Wutu Emperor's Tomb. Tang Chen's face didn't change, but he was a little surprised. The notification had popped up out of nowhere. Plus, this time, the location was pretty self-explanatory. Could the system know I want Qilin and is hooking me up with a free meal? Tang Chen grinned, a shot at the jackpot. A delicious Qilin barbecue. Sounds amazing. The Imperial Mausoleum is the ancestral tomb of the Wutu kingdom. As their sworn enemy, they're not going to let me waltz in there. They'll think I'm digging up their graves. Also, that Wutu Qilin's probably a big deal. At least saint level. No need to rush things. Gotta wait for the right opportunity. Thinking that, Tang Chen pocketed the tooth bone. It had lost much of its luster, but that divine aura lingered, might come in handy down the road. Tang Chen, give it back. You'll regret this. Seeing Tang Chen's actions, Xiao was livid. He was about to attack when Tang Chen gave him a pitiful look. He even whispered 2 words, idiot. It hit Xiao like a bolt of lightning. He remembered being utterly crushed by Tang Chen. Even summoning the Qilin hadn't helped. Tang Chen had just taken the tooth bone. The message was clear. He, Xiao, was no match for Tang Chen. The gap between them was huge. A loser was demanding spoils from the victor. How stupid could he be? No, I can't lose. There has to be a way to beat Tang Chen. Wait, I still have the Kunlun ancient mirror. It's a supreme artifact. Activating it will definitely take Tang Chen down. Xiao clutched at the hope like a lifeline, and his eyes refilled with fire. Chapter 55, Double Crushing of Strength and Intelligence, the Polluted Kunlun Master. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 55, Strength and Brains Crushed, the Tainted Kunlun Truth, the Kunlun Mirror, a celestial weapon. The power of this immortal weapon can shake the very foundations of heaven and earth. Jiuxiao, remembering this, yanked the Kunlun mirror from inside his robes and channeled a massive amount of spiritual power into it. Still nothing. The Kunlun mirror remained inert. Damn it! Why isn't it working? What am I missing? Jiuxiao was livid. He'd schemed and plotted, stirring up conflict between the most promising disciples, located the Kunlun Taoist palace untouched, and successfully retrieved the Kunlun mirror. Everything had gone perfectly, step by step, but now, he couldn't even use the thing. What was the difference between this and finding a piece of junk? To think I helped you find the Kunlun mirror. Now, I'll show you how it's done. Tang Chen spoke, suddenly reaching out and grabbing. His immense spiritual power solidified into a hand, gripping the Kunlun mirror as if piercing the very fabric of space. With a quick flex of the wrist, he sent Jiuxiao flying. The Kunlun mirror now rested in Tang Chen's palm. You bandit! You thieving bastard! Jiuxiao roared, spitting blood. First, Tang Chen snatched his Qilin tooth bone. Now, the Kunlun mirror. He was the 3rd prince of the Wuta kingdom, high above everyone else, and this was the first time in his life he'd felt so helpless, so humiliated. But, before he could finish, Jiuxiao's eyes went wide. Something had appeared in Tang Chen's hand, a piece of unadorned jade. Almost identical to Kunlun jade. No, this piece was larger, and etched with a cryptic rune. Even with a missing corner, Jiuxiao instantly recognized that the rune matched the indentation on the Kunlun mirror. Then, Tang Chen lifted the Kunlun jade and slowly brought it to the mirror. Buzz! The 2 pieces of jade fused together seamlessly. The cryptic rune not only filled in the missing corner but detached from the jade, affixing itself to the Kunlun mirror. Swish, 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 blinding light poured from the Kunlun mirror. All around them, the stone pillars crumbled. Tens of thousands of runes came alive, transforming into 9 immense chains that latched onto the stone platform from all directions. With a groan, the chains pulled the platform apart, releasing plumes of smoke. Kunlun jade. Tang Chen had Kunlun jade all along. And he knew. He knew I had it too, and he let me waste my time searching the world for the Kunlun Taoist palace and the Kunlun mirror. Then, he snatched the Kunlun mirror and activated it in one move. Jiuxiao stumbled backward. His face was as white as a sheet, his eyes as wide as saucers. To be defeated meant a lack of strength, but to be outsmarted, that was a blow to the ego. Crushed by superior strength and cunning, Jiuxiao felt his very core fracturing, and it was beyond repair. Meanwhile, Tang Chen ignored Jiuxiao, his attention riveted on the Kunlun mirror in his hand. Kunlun mirror, immortal weapon, sealed. Tang Chen frowned. He had collected 3 pieces of Kunlun jade and opened the heart of the Kunlun secret treasure. Why was the Kunlun mirror still sealed? The answer must lie beyond that door. Tang Chen's gaze shifted to the front. The 9 runic chains had fully tightened. In the center of the stone platform, an ancient door creaked open. The ancient portal swung inward. Beyond, everyone saw a chaotic void, and within that void, a towering figure Saturday. An old man, more precisely, the corpse of an old man. His body held no life, no spiritual power, only death. Yet, even in death, his flesh, bones, and meridians were perfectly preserved, glowing with a jade-like sheen. His face radiated a serene confidence. Everyone except Tang Chen felt a wave of awe, the urge to kneel and worship. "That's incredible, it's really him," Yi Rushue gasped. "I've read countless texts describing the appearance of Kunlun. If I'm not mistaken, that's his actual body, perfectly preserved." Her words sent a ripple of shock through the group. Kunlun was a legend, a pinnacle of power in the eastern wilderness. Even in death, his residual Taoist energy and power could inspire enlightenment, and this wasn't just any corpse. Kunlun body was impeccably preserved. "My master said that some powerful cultivators would create pockets in the chaos and hide their life's treasures within," Luo Yuheng said. "Even in death, they would sit in the chaos, watching over their treasures. It seems that's what Kunlun did. Within that chaotic void, there's not only his body, but also everything he accumulated in his life." Hearing Luo Yuheng's words, their eyes burned with anticipation. They'd scoured most of the Kunlun secret realm but had found nothing of real value, but the idea that all the greatest treasures were hidden in that chaotic void made perfect sense. As the others cheered, Tang Chen stared at the chaotic void, a deep frown creasing his forehead. Whoosh, star, without warning, a stream of grey mist erupted from Kunlun body, heading straight for Yi Rushue, who stood closest. It happened so fast that she didn't have time to react. By the time she realized what was happening, the mist had enveloped her. "Burn!" Tang Chen's voice was sharp. The terrifying Tushe Emperor flame blazed to life, instantly engulfing the grey mist. In a heartbeat, it was reduced to ashes. "Are you okay?" Tang Chen landed in front of Yi Rushue, visibly relieved to see she was unharmed. It was a small, simple gesture, but it sent a jolt through her. She couldn't help but remember holding him tightly, and a seductive blush touched her cheeks. "Everyone, step back. There's something strange about that thing." Tang Chen didn't dwell on it. He unleashed the Tushe Emperor flame, creating shields of fire around everyone. Then, he activated his golden eye, focusing on Kunlun corpse, Kunlun body, corrupted by the evil thoughts of the bloodthirsty evil emperor. Current strength, Grandmaster level. To be updated later. Chapter 56, Fighting Kunlun Master. This is not a dream. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tang Chen wasn't surprised. He'd known the bloodthirsty evil emperor's evil thoughts had surfaced in the Kunlun secret treasure. This was the Kunlun Taoist palace, the heart of it all, so contamination was a given. "The corpse, it's moving," someone yelled. Everyone looked and saw grey mist pouring out of Kunlun corpse, laced with intense bloody power, likely from those consumed by the evil spirits. Fueled by this blood, the long-dead Kunlun jerked. Empty eyes snapped open, bloodshot and terrifying. "Roar!" Kunlun roared, the sound like a shockwave, shattering the stone platform and rune chains, even shaking the entire Taoist palace. Cracks spiderwebbed across the walls. Is Master Kunlun resurrected? That's the power of a peak master. It's terrifying, my heart almost stopped. He's full of evil energy. Is he going to corrupt us? The scene was horrifying. The others present were powerful, but they'd mostly operated solo. This was the first time feeling the unleashed might of a master like this up close. "Stand back. I'll handle him," Tang Chen said calmly. With a wave, he teleported everyone out. "Tang Chen's going to fight Kunlun alone. I'm more surprised he sent us away. Anyone else would have used us as cannon fodder. Our junior master uncle's not just handsome, he's amazing. He's practically a saint. Stop looking at him like some regular guy. And the soul-slaying sword technique? Xianjian cave disciples can learn it any time." He never considered keeping it a secret. The crowd's chatter rose. Tang Chen was baffled by their tone. He'd sent them away because they couldn't withstand the grey mist. Consumed, their flesh would fuel Kunlun. And saint? That was purely fan fiction. As for the sword technique, the Immortal Tao monument was on Xianjian's spiritual mountain. Hiding it was impossible. Xianjian cave is a bunch of fanboys, Tang Chen thought. He focused on Kunlun. and Tushe ancient emperor flame erupted. 2 fingers to break mountains and rivers, a massive finger of spiritual energy, wreathed in flames, slammed into Kunlun roared and threw a punch, bang, like a meteor collision, the force pulverized buildings in the Dao Palace. Everyone saw Tang Chen's energy finger burn away the evil energy on Kunlun. Contact triggered a spiritual power storm that sent Kunlun flying into a distant wall. He blocked it. Luoheng stammered, astonished. This was a powerful Jinren. Tang Chen knocked him back with 1 finger. The rest stared, eyes wide with awe. First, he broke through the 6th realm. Now, he knocked out the Jinren with 1 finger. The whole East Wilderness, even the entire Xuanhuan realm, would go nuts if they knew. Are you kidding me? Jiuxiao's face twitched. He slapped himself. It hurt. This wasn't a dream, I thought Kunlun would suppress Tang Chen, maybe even kill him, now, Tang Chen can crush Kunlun with 1 finger, just like he crushed me. The thought made Jiuxiao almost happy. Kunlun got crushed. So did he. Kunlun equals Jiuxiao. I can't stay here. Better escape while Tang Chen's busy with Kunlun Jiuxiao snapped back to reality. He glanced at the evil-filled void, then abandoned his plan and fled. Tang Chen saw Jiuxiao's retreat, but ignored it. The Kunlun secret collection was sealed. He could crush Jiuxiao anytime. He needed to deal with Kunlun first. Roar! Another roar echoed. Kunlun charged, wielding advanced boxing techniques. Tang Chen slashed with his sword, the light cutting through the fist shadows. But the strike only left a scratch that healed instantly with gray smoke. The sword isn't working. Tang Chen murmured. Instantly, Tushe ancient emperor flame exploded, forming a 9-colored fire lotus. Go! Tang Chen flicked his finger. The lotus flew, burning away the gray mist and hitting Kunlun. Roar! Kunlun roared in pain, spewing gray mist at the lotus, which absorbed it until it detonated. Boom! The explosion shook the Kunlun secret collection, then everyone saw a pillar of 9-colored fire erupt. The flames seemed to scorch the earth. Look! There's someone there. Someone shouted. 2 figures stood within the flames. One roared in agony, consumed by the fire. The other was clad in white, a black sword at his waist, his black hair and robes flowing in the wind, impossibly free. The one in the fire looks like the Kunlun from the ancient texts. And that's Tang Chen. Silence fell, their minds went blank. The author says, that's all for today. So sorry for the wait. More updates tomorrow. Chapter 57, Tian Mei Dao Yin Dan, Tang Chen kills the real person. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Before even stepping into Kunlun's secret realm, every gifted cultivator had heard tales of the Kunlun Master. That's why they recognized him instantly. This was Kunlun's secret realm. It made sense that the Kunlun Master would be here. Tang Chen entering with everyone else. That made sense too, but the Kunlun Master and Tang Chen appearing together, and then fighting? That was completely off the rails. And the craziest part? It looked like Tang Chen was winning. Everyone was scratching their heads. Was Tang Chen even human? He was so unbelievably strong, it was just embarrassing for the rest of them. Up above, Tang Chen was aware of all the eyes glued on him, but he didn't pay any mind. His dark eyes were fixed on the void where the 9-colored flames had faded. The Kunlun Master stood there, head bowed, skin scorched black in the warped space. The dark energy that always clung to him was almost completely gone. Even his eyes were dull. He won. Qin Wuxia, Luoheng, and the others' hearts pounded in their chests. Tang Chen had actually beaten something that terrifying. They'd struggled to handle even a trace of the Kunlun Master's dark mist. They couldn't even imagine facing him head-on. Roar! Before anyone could celebrate, the Kunlun Master roared. The entire Kunlun realm shook. Everyone watched as the dark mist in every corner of the realm surged back towards the Kunlun Master. It started to mend his skin and flesh, bit by bit, until his eyes were burning red again. Is that mist healing him? This realm is huge, and the mist seems endless. Does that mean he can't be killed? Look! His power is spiking, that the crowd was stunned. Now they understood why the mist sank into the ground. The Kunlun realm was a giant energy reservoir, ready to refuel the Kunlun Master anytime he needed it. We're doomed. Luoheng's face was etched with despair. This was the first time she'd felt so helpless. Her whole body trembled. Many others felt the same way. This time, they were truly outmatched. The Kunlun Master didn't even need to lift a finger. The endless dark mist would be enough to wipe them all out and turn them into fuel. As for Tang Chen, he just stared at the Kunlun Master, his eyes flashing with a strange light. His handsome face, as calm as an immortal's, showed no fear. Chomp! Tang Chen called out suddenly, instantly. Chomp transformed, its mouth opening to unleash a massive suction force. A huge amount of dark mist was sucked in, slowing down the Kunlun Master's recovery. The dark energy is fueled by evil thoughts. Destroy those thoughts, and the energy will disappear. Tang Chen realized. So, this is a race against time, that he snapped his fingers, and the eternal flame surged again. This time, it didn't surround the Kunlun Master, but targeted his heart. Tang Chen had already seen the source of the evil thoughts there. Slice! Tang Chen yelled, drawing his sword and striking, thwack, the Kunlun Master's flesh was torn open, revealing a dark heart. A wisp of black mist lingered above it, the evil thought itself. Without hesitation, Tang Chen sent the eternal flame to burn it away. But the Kunlun Master's flesh healed instantly, the dark mist swirling around him to block the flames. Almost. Tang Chen sighed, the other cultivators didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Tang Chen had figured out a plan and put it into action in mere seconds. The fact that he could even think that fast was inhuman. And here he was, acting like he hadn't done well enough. Was this what a real genius looked like? Slice! Tang Chen yelled again, slashing with his sword. This time, the blade was sharper, faster. As if it took no time at all, he sliced open the Kunlun Master's chest. Tang Chen followed with another strike before the damaged flesh could heal, deepening the wound. The black heart, still beating, was clearly visible. At the same time, the eternal flame condensed into a fiery lotus in the air, poised to strike. It waited for an opening. I get it. Tang Chen is racing against time, trying to cut faster than the mist can heal. If he can make the wound big enough, the lotus can strike the Kunlun Master's heart. That the explanation clicked. They were stunned again by Tang Chen's quick thinking. Swish, 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 every strike lit up the sky with sword light. The wound on the Kunlun Master's chest was almost a tenth of his body. Just a little more, and the black heart would be completely exposed. But the last little bit was proving impossible to break through. The battle was a stalemate. At this rate, he'll run out of energy, Qingrou said, worried. The dark mist was endless, but Tang Chen's spiritual energy wasn't. The longer the fight dragged on, the worse it would be for him, but no one could do anything. They didn't dare touch the mist, let alone attack the Kunlun Master. Everyone nodded, helpless. Maybe we could try. Jiuxiao said uncertainly. Hesitation filled her face, and her voice was barely a whisper, so nobody heard her. Boom. The fight raged on in the sky. For the first time, Tang Chen's blade failed to even touch the Kunlun Master, blocked by the dark mist. Tang Chen frowned, he was about to strike again when he saw a flash of red below. Get back! Tang Chen shouted. Even though Jiuxiao was strong, she couldn't help in this fight. Jiuxiao hesitated, but after hearing his words, she dove towards Tang Chen like a comet, throwing herself into his arms, her lips pressed against his. What? Everyone was stunned. What was happening? Tang Chen was caught off guard too, but then he felt a strange energy flowing from Jiuxiao's mouth into his. He focused and saw her cheeks flushed, her eyes filled with a captivating charm. A red light rose from her throat, Celestial Beauty's source pill, the origin of Celestial Beauty's body. Tang Chen was shocked. Before he could speak, Jiuxiao hugged him tightly, whispering, "Swallow, swallow it," that the pill flowed into Tang Chen's mouth and down his throat. Jiuxiao fainted in his arms. Tang Chen glanced at her, moved. He held her in one arm and raised his dark Xian immortal sword with the other. The pill had ignited the spiritual power within him. A reddish light filled the air, mixed with the laws of the universe, and surged into the sword, making it shine brilliantly. "Let's end this," Tang Chen said, his eyes sharp, his voice full of confidence. He slashed the sword. The blade was still impossibly thin. But it tore through the sky, revealing the chaotic void within. The sky was truly sliced open. The scene was unbelievable. Roar, that the Kunlun Master seemed to sense the danger. He roared, summoning the dark mist, but the mist froze in mid-air, paralyzed. The one who controlled the mist, the Kunlun Master, had been sliced in two by the sword. His black heart stopped beating. Chapter 58 Kunlun Immortal Mountain, Yang Qing is jealous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 58, The Kunlun Fairy Mountains Location, Yang Xuanhuan. Tang Chen cut down Master Kunlun himself. More accurately, when Tang Chen cleaved the sky, he also severed Master Kunlun's body. That sword was insane. That a stunned silence blanketed the Kunlun secret realm. Every gifted cultivator was reeling from the shock. The sky is supposed to be stable and all-encompassing. The master's body is supposed to be as tough as a sacred weapon. But Tang Chen's sword had not only sliced through the sky but also offed a master. It felt like a bizarre, mind-blowing dream. Buzz, star, then. The blackened organ hit the ground and instantly disintegrated into nothing. That dark, evil thought burrowed into the earth, trying to escape, but almost immediately, the exquisite fire lotus descended. A terrifying inferno, hot enough to scorch the heavens, erupted, consuming the land completely. In the end, even the evil thought was incinerated. The gray mist that had filled the Kunlun secret realm vanished. Seeing this, Tang Chen finally let out a relieved breath. His gaze shifted and he noticed a faint, shimmering light around Master Kunlun's body. These warm, almost sinister lights caught everyone's attention. As they watched, the glimmers coalesced into a figure in gray robes, standing tall and proud. Master Kunlun. Someone gasped. The figure was eerily similar to the real Master Kunlun. More than similar, it was a fragment of his soul. After all, Master Kunlun had fallen thousands of years ago. Kunlun, surveying the room, finally fixed his gaze on Tang Chen, his face etched with regret. My lapse in judgment nearly triggered a catastrophe. Fortunately, you intervened. Please, accept my gratitude. That he bowed deeply to Tang Chen. Everyone watched with envy. Master Kunlun was the ultimate master, one step away from becoming a saint. Hardly anyone in the room had ever been revered by someone that powerful. Tang Chen raised a hand, his voice calm. I came to the Kunlun secret realm seeking opportunities. What happened today was just random. There's no need for thanks, it was simply a coincidence. A coincidence, huh? Master Kunlun chuckled. He seemed pleased by Tang Chen's magnanimity. Any false humility would have seemed insincere. Senior, I have a question, Tang Chen ventured after a moment. I know nothing. Master Kunlun quipped instantly. Senior, do you know the location of Kunlun Fairy Mountain? A spark of eagerness flashed in Tang Chen's eyes. After merging the three Kunlun ancient jades, the resonance of the secret key to Kunlun Fairy Mountain had grown stronger. Tang Chen suspected the ancient jades were tied to Kunlun Fairy Mountain. With Master Kunlun's lingering soul present, he couldn't miss this chance. Of course, I do, Master Kunlun confirmed. Then, his tone turned serious, but I'm not sure I should tell you. Tang Chen's expression darkened. Before he could ask more, Master Kunlun continued, it's not selfishness. Kunlun Fairy Mountain has been greatly changed, corrupted into its current state, and that corruption is potent. Given your current strength, it may be unsuitable for a trip there. Does it have something to do with the blood-devouring evil emperor? Tang Chen pressed. Master Kunlun was taken aback. He studied Tang Chen intently, then nodded slowly. Senior, knowing the location of Kunlun Fairy Mountain is vital to me. I hope you'll share it. As for the changes there and the blood-devouring evil emperor, I'll consider them carefully and won't rush in unprepared. Tang Chen pleaded. The Kunlun Fairy Mountain key was a star prize, and it was only the key to unlocking the mountain. That meant there must be treasures inside. Tang Chen really wanted to give up. Alright then. Seeing Tang Chen's determination, Master Kunlun sighed and conceded. In the far north of Beiyuan, a sky-high snow mountain stands tall. Climb to its peak, and you'll be able to touch the Kunlun Fairy Mountain. But whether you can actually enter is up to fate. I can't help you with that. Tang Chen's eyes gleamed. He bowed and said, Thank you for the information, Senior. Knowing where Kunlun Fairy Mountain was meant Tang Chen could use the key to open it. In other words, Tang Chen could enter Kunlun Fairy Mountain anytime. I keep my promises. I am who I am. Master Kunlun's form began to blur. He was, after all, just a remnant of a soul. Once his soul power was exhausted, he would dissipate. You can extinguish the blood-devouring evil emperor's evil thoughts. You might even be able to save Kunlun Fairy Mountain from danger. While I can give you the key to entry, I can't do much more. Sensing his imminent departure, Master Kunlun spoke faster. Buzz, star, the ancient Kunlun mirror in Tang Chen's robe floated into the air. As Master Kunlun reached out and gently touched it, the once dull Kunlun ancient mirror blazed with brilliant light. A unique, heavenly aura filled the sky. The Kunlun ancient mirror, the immortal Kunlun ancient mirror. Given this scene, could it be that Master Kunlun is bestowing the Kunlun ancient mirror upon Tang Chen? Immortal weapons need to be nurtured over long periods to unlock their aura, but look, the Kunlun ancient mirror fell into Tang Chen's hands of its own volition, a clear sign that Master Kunlun is lending him a hand. The various Taoist prodigies watched intently. That was a legendary immortal weapon. Even the saints would be envious. Although I'm not sure what is really happening, what Tang Chen just did was equivalent to solving the disaster that was destroying the Kunlun secret treasure. From that perspective, it makes sense. But given Tang Chen's current cultivation level, I doubt he'll be able to fully wield the immortal weapon's power anytime soon. Amidst the envious murmurs, one voice dripped with sourness. It was Yang Qing. Brother Yang is right. Immortal weapons are what they are. I doubt Tang Chen will be able to use them for a long time. Honestly, getting cultivation resources is way better than an immortal weapon. It is just something to look at, while the later is a real help. Too bad the Kunlun secret realm has already been plundered. The Kunlun ancient mirror is the only thing left. Hearing Yang Qing's words, the crowd chimed in, nodding in agreement. They all wanted to downplay Tang Chen's gains, to reassure themselves, however. Just as the words left their lips, a series of whooshing sounds erupted from the Kunlun Dao Palace. Then, beams of light shot into the sky, gathering before Tang Chen. The light contained a wealth of cultivation resources. Too many to count. Chapter 59, Encountering Moral Kidnapping, Yang Qing's Death. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bam, 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 bam. Yang Qing and the other jealous onlookers felt like they'd been slapped silly, their faces burning with embarrassment, especially Yang Qing. He'd been the first to pipe up with his snide remarks. Now, he was so mortified he could disappear into the floor. Meanwhile, Tang Chen was taking in the massive hall of training resources, his mind at peace. These resources were tucked away in the chaotic void. Even if Master Kunlun hadn't offered them up, Tang Chen would've gathered them piece by piece. Still, he was grateful. Some of these resources needed special care and refining. Master Kunlun had already taken care of that hassle for him. These resources are enough to push you to the real person level. After that, you'll have the power to protect yourself inside Kunlun Immortal. If possible, I'd prefer you wait until you've reached the saint level before going in. Master Kunlun looked at Tang Chen with admiration. The kid's got incredible willpower. With that kind of talent and grit, he's bound to become a saint. He might even have a shot at breaking through the shackles of immortality. Thank you for your generosity, Senior. Tang Chen bowed deeply to Master Kunlun. The old master's remnant soul was fading fast. Master Kunlun fixed his gaze on Tang Chen and said, "This is goodbye for good. Remember what I've told you." With that, the soul dissipated. Master Kunlun was gone. Master Kunlun, at the pinnacle of power, still saw the dangers in Kunlun Immortal, and even considered it taboo. But no matter what, I have to go. If I let fear hold me back, what kind of life would that be? Tang Chen resolved in his heart. With a wave, he gathered all the cultivation resources. Then, he gently floated down. He carefully lifted Jiuxiao and handed her to the Yaoqi Cave Heaven people. She was exhausted and passed out, but it's nothing serious. I gave her some medicine, she should wake up soon. The Yaoqi Cave Heaven people sighed with relief. We can't thank you enough for this, benefactor. Please, accept our gratitude. They exchanged glances, then bowed deeply to Tang Chen. Without him, they'd surely be dead. Their gratitude was genuine. Please accept our thanks as well. The others joined in, bowing low. Even Yuheng, who was usually cold towards Tang Chen, lowered his head. Everyone, please rise. Tang Chen smiled and used his spiritual power to help them up. Then, he looked at the Xianjian Cave Heaven people and said with a smile, it's understandable for outsiders to be so formal. But you all? Aren't we family? Qin Wuxia and the others were moved to tears. Family, the word carried so much weight, it also meant Tang Chen had accepted them. They were both shocked and deeply touched. The others were floored. Tang Chen's image had grown even larger in their eyes, like a towering mountain. Such a person, such a spirit, truly one of a kind. If only Tang Chen were our mentor. They were filled with emotion. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A series of sounds cut through the air. A group of Taoist disciples arrived, their eyes locked on Tang Chen with burning intensity. Tang Chen. Yang Qing stepped forward. Where are the cultivation resources? Hand them over now. Tang Chen raised an eyebrow. Qin Wuxia said coldly, those resources belong to Master Tang. Why should he give them to you? Don't get me wrong. I don't want them all for myself. Yang Qing said in a solemn tone, as we all know, the Kunlun secret treasures were filled with cultivation resources, and the legendary Kunlun ancient mirror. I have no problem with Tang Chen taking the mirror. Right, but the cultivation resources shouldn't belong to him alone. They should be shared with everyone here, so they can benefit all of us and not go to waste. Do you all agree? A chorus of voices echoed his sentiment. Tang Chen realized what was happening. Moral blackmail. Yang Qing was like those people who throw themselves in front of a car and demand money. He wasn't going to leave until he got what he wanted. Shameless. Qin Wuxia's face flushed with anger. Master Kunlun gave him those resources as a gift. This has nothing to do with you. Whether it was a gift from Master Kunlun doesn't matter. The important thing is that we all came here seeking opportunity, and everyone should get something. It's not right for Xianjian Cave Heaven to get everything. I propose this for the good of Xianjian Cave Heaven, to avoid future problems. Yang Qing stressed the last two words. Qin Wuxia felt immense pressure bearing down on all the Taoist geniuses. Yang Qing was using the crowd to intimidate Tang Chen. If Tang Chen refused, it would be like insulting the other disciples and the major factions they represented. Wuxia, stand back. Tang Chen stopped Qin Wuxia as she was about to lash out. He stepped forward, met Yang Qing's smug gaze, and scanned the faces of the other disciples. Finally, he nodded slightly. You want cultivation resources? Fine, I'll give them to you. Yang Qing's face lit up. So much for sword-wielding prowess. In the end, he still had to give in. But Tang Chen continued, you have to withstand one finger of mine. If you can stand after that, you can have a share of the resources. The crowd fell silent. They'd all seen Tang Chen's strength. Blocking one finger shouldn't be too hard. I'll go first. Yang Qing eagerly stepped forward. He was afraid of Tang Chen, sure, but Tang Chen said finger, not sword. A swordsman without a sword is at a disadvantage. If I can block it, the others will rush in, and things will get chaotic. Keep pretending, Tang Chen. I'll enjoy watching you squirm. Yang Qing wanted to make trouble. The more embarrassed Tang Chen was, the better. All right. Tang Chen raised his right hand. As his fingers moved, the sky ripped open, and a massive finger of spiritual energy descended, crushing down on Yang Qing's chest. No. A piercing scream. the saintly laws and the defensive artifacts on Yang Qing shattered, his entire body was pulverized into a bloody mess. Yang Qing was dead. I forgot to mention, if this finger hits, life and death are irrelevant. Tang Chen glanced at Yang Qing's remains, then looked at the crowd, his voice calm. Who's next? Chapter 60. The only winner. All the geniuses lined up to salute. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yang Qing bit the dust. It was sudden, nobody saw it coming, then it hit them, a wave of ice-cold dread washing over them from head to toe. Some of the weaker ones just crumpled, faces twitching, right there on the ground. Yang Qing, the cave's undisputed king of carnage, gone like that. Wiped out by Tang Chen with a single finger. Just how powerful was Tang Chen? The young prodigies assembled were no dummies. They knew that Kunlun Master wasn't at full strength, but for Tang Chen to ice him anyway. Seriously impressive. Still, it didn't mean Tang Chen was some kind of top-tier master, which was why they'd been bold enough to think they could jump him for his loot, but now. That idea was dead. Yang Qing had just given his life to prove how outmatched they all were. One finger, body gone, spirit snuffed out. Hey, it's like, we were totally misled by Yang Qing, man. If we came off wrong, no hard feelings, okay? Seriously, it's all Yang Qing's fault. We have mad respect for you, dude. The Kunlun Ancient Mirror, the training resources, all yours, fair and square. Anybody gets greedy, they gotta answer to us. Your strength is unreal, man. We're all gonna look up to you and bust our butts to follow your example. That the would-be looters did a total 180, their faces went from arrogant to ridiculously sycophantic. Some of the girls even started batting their eyelashes at Tang Chen, all flirty and blushing. If you guys don't want them, forget it. Tang Chen lowered his hand, the young geniuses all ducked their heads, afraid to even make eye contact. That's our big brother. He put those punks in their place. Qin Wusa breathed a sigh of relief, grinning. This trip to the Kunlun secret vault. We scored the Kunlun Ancient Mirror, a boatload of resources. We're the only real winners here. The Xianjian cave disciples nodded, practically glowing with happiness. Time to head out. Tang Chen grinned, feeling good. He'd successfully scored the Tushe Ancient Emperor Flame on this trip. He also pinpointed the location of Kunlun Fairy Mountain. Plus, he got the Kunlun Ancient Mirror, the Qilin Tooth Bone, tons of training resources, and a new spot to check in. Couldn't have gone better. Almost forgot. One more thing before we go. Tang Chen's eyes flicked to a spot in the distance, a valley 10 miles from Kunlun Taoist Palace. Someone was hiding there, a guy in heavy armor and a cloak, looked like a general, except he was a mess, hair all over the place, face dirty, eyes bloodshot. He was hiding, constantly scanning the area, jumpy as hell. The noise is getting louder. Tang Chen should be coming out of the Kunlun secret vault soon. The man muttered. It was Jiuxiao. Nobody would believe it, the third prince of the ancient Wutu kingdom, reduced to this. If word got out, the Wutu kingdom would be humiliated. I thought Tang Chen would buy the farm against that Kunlun master. Instead, he whooped him in one shot. The Kunlun Ancient Mirror, the resources, all his. He gets everything. Damn it all to hell. Jiuxiao had been hiding ever since fleeing Kunlun Tao Palace. He'd seen it all go down. He was shocked and helpless. He'd wanted to join the others and shake Tang Chen down, but he'd thought better of it. Given his history with Tang Chen, he figured laying low was smarter. Resources were nice, but staying alive was better. Tang Chen's gonna be too busy dealing with those other guys to even notice me. As soon as the door to the Kunlun secret vault opens, I'm bailing. If I can just get out safe, I can leave everything to Lao Ting. Ting Lao was Jiuxiao's bodyguard, a powerful warrior. He'd be Jiuxiao's good luck charm. Think he's running from me? Jiuxiao was lost in thought. Then, a lazy voice cut through the air. Jiuxiao freaked out, every hair on his body standing on end. Without thinking, he channeled all his energy, turning into a streak of light and running like hell. Tang Chen, back off. You already killed my brother. If you touch me, the Wutu kingdom will declare you their mortal enemy and bring the thunder. Jiuxiao ran like the wind, screaming threats. Tang Chen chuckled. He was all talk and no action. Ao Jiuxiao and his brother were a riot. I iced Ao Hongchen already, why would I sweat taking out one more Ao Jiuxiao? Tang Chen shook his head, grinning. Those words were a death sentence for Ao Jiuxiao. Tang Chen slashed out with his sword. The blade sang as it cut through the air, breaking space itself and dropping down on Ao Jiuxiao. Qilin destroys the sky. Dari Samsara halberd technique. Ao Jiuxiao bit his tongue and unleashed his most powerful attacks, hoping to get lucky, but he was outmatched. As the sword came down, the huge Qilin image and the thousands of halberd strikes dissolved into nothing. The sword kept falling, and finally sliced off a head. Ao Jiuxiao was dead. His eyes were full of confusion as he died. He knew Tang Chen was better than him, but he didn't realize how big the gap had become. They'd been evenly matched once. Now, one sword was all it took. One last problem solved. I'm finally in the clear. Tang Chen grinned, taking back the black Xianxian sword. He never left loose ends, even if they weren't a real threat. Meanwhile, outside, a bunch of powerful folks were hanging out, staring at the ancient portal, eyes burning. They were the bodyguards for the young geniuses. Usually, they stayed in the shadows, but during the Kunlun secret vault event, they'd felt some serious weird vibes, and even they were getting spooked. They'd finally decided to come out and figure out what to do. Creek. The ancient portal swung open. The bodyguards perked up and looked over. They saw the geniuses coming through. Finally. One bodyguard relaxed, the others nodded, smiling, but as they moved forward, the geniuses didn't rush out. Instead, they lined up on both sides of the portal, standing straight and bowing their heads. The bodyguards stopped dead. What was this? Who was so important that they could get a group of prodigies to bow and scrape?